For those who follow my channel, you know I like to fix things. I like to make things easier. So I came up with a drywall patch, and at the end of this video, you can purchase one if you want. You really need to check it out because it is the strongest drywall patch in the world. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and have a seat. For more tips and tricks, don't forget to hit that button and subscribe. Also, ring the bell so you can get notifications anytime I have new videos. I have a little problem. Wound up with a branch in my roof, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. So let's get up here and see what we got. A nice little hole. You take a good blade from a drywall knife. I like to get the ones with the stiffer blade when you're doing this, and you want to start right under the shingle. Be very careful that you don't bite into the other shingle underneath it. You just want to get that strip loose. This is a strip, and it's made to stick on the next shingle down. And this, when this heats up, it melts on there and bonds. So it's easier to get this loose if it's shade or if it's winter time. But in the winter, they're much more brittle. Stay right with this shingle because you don't want to cut the other shingle. Make sure you keep it high right underneath this shingle and you'll be fine. So I'm going up one more. Knock this one loose. Once I get there, past that strip, it's easy. Love flat bars for this reason. Well, for a lot of reasons, but this is one. These nails will be on this strip or a tiny bit above it. You never want to go below it because if it does, then it'll start leaking eventually. It'll rust out and leak. Here's a nail right here. So what I want to do, I don't want to try to dig in there. I want to go underneath that to where I can pull this out. So I'll go right up underneath it. I'm going to take my flat bar, and what I'm doing is I'm getting right on that. Once I get on that, I could just pop it right out. So I'll go on an angle, get underneath that nail, and there you go. This shingle ends here, but the next one down goes over some. So we have to lift this up a little bit, right? Just takes a second. This is easy. This is the shingle I want out. And I do have one. I got a nail in here, I think, hanging it up. Right on here. This one's out. Throw it on the side. I could still use that one if I wanted to. Now you see that just laps up to here. The next ones, when they would go in, I'm not putting them in right now, but when they would go in, get this nail out the way, because otherwise that's going to come out anyway. When the next one would go in, I just line it up with where the other ones were. Have you ever seen anything like that? I didn't put a hole in the wall because I have a strong patch on there by Easy Protection. Get this out of the way because we are going to cover it up anyway after. All I have to do is cover that hole. So I have a rafter here to screw to, so I wouldn't need both strips, but I'm gonna use them anyway. So I'm gonna run one here, and I'll just run one in the middle. So take your double stick tape. I split the seam just like this, and that's unbelievably strong. The reason why it's so strong in drywall with this double stick tape, when I run a screw in the top and the bottom of this, normally if you hit it real hard, it pushes that screw in on drywall. But since you have that double stick tape going up and down here, spreading it out, it's not just relying on a screw, it's relying on the entire strip. Pull that up. Ain't going anywhere, guys. What if I had to put a handicap rail up in between studs and it's not landing on them? I want complete confidence, and this gives it to you. If you have the proper materials, you can fill in a large hole or a small hole. In this case, I had the proper materials so I could fill this in. And I could even go rafter to rafter. On this hole, all I need is a small piece. I use plywood strips because that's all I would need for a small hole like this. If you're gonna make these yourself and you don't have double stick tape, just make sure you have a firm grip on these strips when you're screwing it in so you don't drop it in the attic. I don't have any felt paper, but what you can do is just take and cover this up with a piece of shingle, and your shingle will go over this. You'll be fine. So I'm gonna take an old piece right here, something not too big. You see, I can go right over it. I'll cut this out. When you cut your shingles, you always want to cut from the back side. Why? If you cut it from the front side, you're gonna wind up tearing up your blade and dulling it because you're hitting all this granule, and it's much harder to cut. Tuck it in here. Let it go under that one and slightly over this one. Now it's going to act like felt paper and we're fine. Just slip under. All right. My next one will go right here. All right. And I can mark it. I'll show you with my knife. Before I put it in, line it up to my shingles. Blade and hit it there. And here. And I know I'm gonna be right. So, right there to here. Okay. This one will go right here. And we'll have another one that goes right here, and we'll be done. We want to nail it about 1 inch away in the tack strip. Where to place the nails and how many per shingle. This is an architectural shingle. This is the same shingle that I have on my roof, or the same style. Now, when you look at this, you want to have a certain amount of nails in your shingles. It doesn't matter if I have an architectural shingle or a standard 3-tab shingle. You want to have 6 nails per shingle. That's what I like to do. It's going to give you the best strength, and I'm going to show you how you place them, because if you don't place them properly, you could have shiners. Not so much with this, because the architectural shingle is solid all the way through, where your 3-tab, you have gaps right here, and that's where it's real important. But I'm going to show you the placement with this one first. If you look at it, you want to come 1 inch from the sides, from both sides. After that, you can come 12 inches and then 14 inches. 12 inches and 14 inches. Once you do 1 or 2, you'll see. You don't have to be exact, but you want to be close, right in this range, because that gives you the most strength. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nails per shingle. Some people may wonder, well, why are you 1 inch on each side away? This is why, because you can see you have 1 and 1. They're 2 inches apart, 2 inches apart, 2 inches apart. You see, so it's all evenly placed across this shingle. On a 3-tab shingle, your chances of getting shiners are much, much higher. You see this big gap right here? If I were to nail this in the wrong spot and put a nail here, okay, in the center, you can see right there, when I do my next course up, it's gonna have a shiner. It's gonna be right in between 2 of these. Again, so you have to make sure that you put these in the right placement, especially on 3-tab shingles. On this one as well, you go 1 inch from the side, and then you go 1 inch on either side of your gap. Same here, 1 inch on either side of your gap, and then 1 inch from this side. I'll push something up under there just to keep my shingle from getting in the way when I nail this. Before you go nailing them all, you want to make sure everything's in place and you get them all in here, and we'll come back over and we'll nail them, unless you start from the bottom up, because your nails, this nail is going to go into this shingle and so on. If you start from the top and start nailing it, you're not going to be able to get your other shingle in there. So Let's get this shingle in here real quick. Now let's address another problem that you could have. When you're putting your nails in, I mentioned this earlier, and you go in between two pieces of wood, you will know it when you're hammering. If you hammer and it just pops right down, there's no resistance, this means that you are in between two pieces of wood, or you hit on the edge of a piece of wood and you just split it. That is going to back out. I guarantee it, because the wood's gonna expand and contract with summer and winter, and it will just work its way out. Once it does that, it will pop a hole in your shingle. And let me show you. This is what you will see. You will see one shingle that starts to rise up. And when it gets high enough and everything's down, you'll see this. Eventually, that's gonna poke a hole right through your shingle. I guarantee it, over time, this will find its way through. And once you have a hole in that shingle, you've got to fix it, because water's gonna get in there and it's gonna leak. Push this down and you can pull that nail out. This is rubberized flashing cement. It's made for roofs and for flashing. So you can take this, put it in that hole. What I would do is lift it up, fill it up real good all around there, push this down till it comes out, and then you just kind of work it around. Make sure that it totally covers your area. This is another way to fix it. If you have a hole right here because the nail backed out, what you do is you'll get rid of this nail first. Now you have a hole there, so you'll want to take a shingle and you're going to cut that shingle down. I need to cut it below this strip, because you're going to have nails in this strip here and you're not going to be able to push it all the way. So we're going to go right here below the strip. Now, all you have to do is make sure you're above the hole. Put your shingle up under there. Tuck it in all the way, okay? And then you'll pop your nails here and here. You'll put two nails in this. This won't go anywhere, and it's covering that hole. The water's gonna go down from there, so if it gets underneath there, no big deal. You can always use this to put a little dab right there for extra insurance, but it doesn't matter, because if water seeps under here, you're covered. That's why shingles always overlap as they go up. So water runs over the top, and whatever gets underneath there is still gonna run out. I hope you found this video helpful. If you guys don't mind, check this real short one out showing my drywall patch. If you have any type of hole in your wall or in your ceiling where you need to fix, this is the product for you. So I will see you guys on the next project. Don't forget to subscribe, and please, again, drop a comment.